Welcome to Jersey Reads the Classics, an audiobook podcast delving into the finest works of our literary masters. Unfortunately, it's read by this woman.
What the hell? Who cares? Let's go on an adventure.
Hello, and welcome back to Jersey Reads the Classics with your host, Rosie DeCandia. So, my friends, we are coming into the home stretch. So, without any further ado, let's just get right to it. We got business to take care of. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. And now we are reading Chapter 21. The Lion Becomes the King of Beasts. Ooh, yes. Chapter 21. The Lion Becomes the King of Beasts. After climbing down from the China Wall, the travelers found themselves in a disagreeable country. Oh, really? Another disagreeable country? Full of bogs and marshes and covered with tall, rank grass. Hello, that's all they know. It was difficult to walk without falling into muddy holes, for the grass was so thick that it hid them from sight. However, by carefully picking their way, they got safely along until they reached solid ground. But here, the country seemed wilder than ever, and after a long and tiresome walk through the underbrush, they entered another forest, where the trees were bigger and older than any they had ever seen. "This forest is perfectly delightful," declared the Lion, looking around him with joy. "Never have I seen a more beautiful place." "It seems gloomy," said the Scarecrow. "Not a bit of it," answered the Lion. "I should like to live here all my life. See how soft the dried leaves are under your feet, and how rich and green the moss is that clings to those old trees. Surely no wild beast could wish a pleasanter home." You see, remember how the Lion was saying that he was sick of living in the city? It doesn't do his constitution well, his body, he's losing weight and stuff. And you see how he's finding so much beauty in the forest, a place he probably used to fear, and now he longs to be there. It's like missing home. You don't know what you got till it's gone. You know what I'm saying? "Perhaps there are wild beasts in the forest now," said Dorothy. "I suppose there are," returned the Lion, "but I do not see any of them about." They walked through the forest until it became too dark to go any farther. Dorothy and Toto and the Lion lay down asleep, while the Woodman and the Scarecrow kept watch over them as usual. When morning came, they started again. Before they had gone far, they heard a low rumble, as of the growling of many wild animals. Oh God, I hope it's not the collar dolls. Toto whimpered a little, but none of the others were frightened, and they kept along the well-trodden path until they came to an opening in the wood, in which were gathered hundreds of beasts of every variety. They were tigers and elephants and bears and wolves and foxes and all the others in the natural history, and for a moment Dorothy was afraid. But the Lion explained that the animals were holding a meeting, and he judged by their snarling and growling that they were in great trouble. As he spoke, several of the beasts caught sight of him, and at once the great assemblage hushed as if by magic. The biggest of the tigers came up to the Lion and bowed, saying, "Welcome, O King of Beasts. You have come in good time to fight our enemy and bring peace to all the animals of the forest once more." "What is your trouble?" asked the Lion quietly. "We are all threatened," answered the tiger, "by a fierce enemy which has lately come into this forest. It is a most tremendous monster, like a great spider, with a body as big as an elephant and legs as long as a tree trunk. Good Lord, have mercy. It has 8 of these long legs, and as the monster crawls through the forest, he seizes an animal with a leg and drags it to his mouth, where he eats it as a spider does a fly. Not one of us is safe while this fierce creature is alive, and we had called a meeting to decide how to take care of ourselves when you came along." Divine intervention, divine timing. And look at it. They already went up to the king, and bowed to him as like king of the beasts, because you know what? The Lion is already walking in confidence, walking knowing that he is king of the forest. There's a song in the wild, "If I were king of the forest." It's actually really funny. Look that up. All right, we will. Anyway, where are we? Okay. The Lion thought for a moment. "Are there any other lions in this forest?" he asked. "No, there were some, but the monster has eaten them all." And besides, they were none of them nearly so large and brave as you. If I put an end to your enemy, will you bow down to me and obey me as king of the forest? Inquired the lion. Look at this. The lion is using some blackmail. I love it. He's like, I'll take care of your bizwax, but you gotta give me. I'm gonna be king. I love it. See now he's got confidence. Now he's strutting and he knows who he is. And look what has come to him, an opportunity of a lifetime. We will do that gladly, returned the tiger, and all the other beasts roared with a mighty roar. We will. Where is the great spider of yours now? Asked the lion. Yonder, among the oak trees, said the tiger, pointing with his forefoot. Take good care of these friends of mine, said the lion, and I will go at once to fight the monster. He bade his comrades goodbye and marched proudly away to do battle with the enemy. The great spider was lying asleep when the lion found him, and it looked so ugly that its foe turned up his nose in disgust. Its legs were quite as long as the tiger had said, and its body covered with coarse black hair. It had a great mouth with a row of sharp teeth, a foot long, but its head was joined to the pudgy body by a neck as slender as a wasp's waist. None of this is in the movie. This gave the lion a hint of the best way to attack the creature, and as he knew it, was easier to fight it asleep than awake. Also, now he's fighting it when it's sleeping. Is that really fair play? I don't know, but hey, this is a book, so we'll just let it go. Okay. He gave a great spring and landed directly upon the monster's back. Then, with one blow of his heavy paw, all armed with sharp claws, he knocked the spider's head from its body. Oh, good Lord. Jumping down, he watched it until the long legs stopped wiggling, when he knew it was quite dead. The lion went back to the opening where the beasts of the forest were waiting for him and said proudly, You need fear your enemy no longer. Then the beasts bowed down to the lion as their king, and he promised to come back and rule over them as soon as Dorothy was safely on her way to Kansas. Oh my God, these chapters are really, really short, my friends, so I don't know what to tell you. Oh my God. Okay, first let's talk about he pounced on his enemy while the enemy was sleeping. Is that really courageous? I know it's just a story, but it's like kind of like bad form, like Captain Hook with Peter Pan, you know, when he like wanted to, like when he snuck upon Peter Pan when Peter Pan was sleeping. I mean, listen, he still took the undertaking because he wouldn't know if the spider heard him, turned around and grabbed him. So, all right, I'll give him the bravery for going in and offering that. But the lion is a smart mofo because he's like, I'll do this for you, but I want to be king of the beast. And they were just like, hey, Nelly, you got it, Toyota. That's an old commercial. Anyway, the point is this. I'm happy for the lion because you know what? He has found his place and his lot in life. And that's where we're going to go now into the woo-woo. Think about it. The lion didn't like the forest before because he was afraid of it, right? So he went on this journey and got the courage that he already had. But now he drank this green stuff in a few chapters ago, and now he's got all this confidence that he's got this courage. But he went on this journey because A, to protect Dorothy, and B, he's over the city, but he's just like, I need a break. I need to see the forest. And as soon as he stepped into the forest part, he was like, I like it here. I belong here. This is beautiful. They all didn't see it. But you want to know why? It was his coming home. And the thing is, because he's changed his perspective on life and he's gotten confidence, he now feels like he has found his domain. And that's kind of like us. We can apply that to our lives. When we have confidence in who we are, our abilities, and just exactly who we are, we find our tribe, we find the career, we find the pathway, we find ourselves in home. And in home being in our body, finding ourselves good with us. And because the lion was so good with him, his outer world reflected it. And isn't it amazing that because he's walking through the forest in this timely manner, there just happens to be a bunch of beasts and there's no more lions, and suddenly they need a leader, and he had something to barter, and they looked to him because you know what? They didn't know he was a coward before and that he was so fear-filled. They just saw his stature and the way now his air and his energy was, I'm a lion. I'm the motherfucking beast of the forest. I'm the king of all you fuckers. And treat me as such. And that's the point, my friends. You know, they're saying to me, these are just stories. But these are stories that, like, when we pry into it, like we're doing now and delve into it, this is how we apply it to our lives, right? So if each and every day you can find something about yourself, which I hope you're doing, find something about yourself that you are just so appreciative of, you know, knowing that I'm really good at this, I'm really good at that, and owning it. What happens, it really does change your vibration. It changes the level of where your frequency is. And when you have this higher frequency that you're vibrating on confidence, self-assurance, what happens, the universe, or whatever you want to call it, you will attract shit that you never thought possible. Because what happened is you're standing in your truth. Now, I used to do this when I was young, fake confidence. My mom used to say to me, you're not really confident. You don't believe in your gifts and talents. She's like, you're putting it on. And she was right. And I didn't really get my gifts and talents to maybe around, I'm not going to lie, until I'm going to say early 40s. That wasn't that long ago. And you can get confidence at any point. You can have it as a child, and most children do. When they do something, they really believe in themselves, and then it gets knocked out of them. But no matter how old you are right now watching this video, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it's never too late to look at all the good that you are and to find that confidence. And how do you find confidence? You're like, oh, Rosie, it's like, well, you have to keep dwelling on the good stuff about yourself. We kept talking about this. You have to, each and every one of us, each day we wake up, right? And the gift is we're waking up. Okay, so we've woken up. But the gift is, what do I have inherently that makes me unique? Because we all have something that makes us unique. I'm reiterating this because basically this chapter is saying, when you stand in your truth, when you are confident and you exude that to the world, right? What happens? The world will shift to match it. And what I'm trying to tell you, even for my own self, is when we step out and we do something and we're fearless and we just do it because we want to do it and you have confidence in it, we do not know what's going to happen, but we do it just because, like, okay, I've talked about this before. I've never done a podcast. I started this as a podcast. So this is on Libsyn, and I have it on iTunes, Spotify, and everything. This is a podcast. It's a little different format because it's more of me reading the chapter, then getting snarky, and then going to the woo-woo. But I decided to do the web version because I just love filming and editing. Now, mind you, I don't get paid for any of this. I've never done podcasting. And I went to film school like 10 years ago, an 8-week class, and I learned, out of the 8 weeks, very little of it was learning editing. But over the years, I have been doing my own projects and videos and what have you. And I just love doing it so much. And doing a podcast, I didn't even listen to podcasts. I just was like, I'm going to do it. And I came up with a game plan and I did it. And I'm doing it without any knowledge or preconceived notion that I can't do it. Because at the end of the day, this is a self-motivated thing to do. Whether I'm making money or not at it right now, it's not the point. I've been doing it now. I mean, I'm filming this now in August. So I don't know when we're seeing this in the next few weeks. I do it ahead of time, but it's more of, I started this like really starting to film it and everything with the first book all the way back in January. And the thing is this, because I believe I can do it and also believe, like, I believe in my talents. I know I'm funny. I know I can read a good damn book, and I know I got personality and I got gifts, so I'm just tossing it out there. Whether I'm earning money or not right now is not the point. Point is this, I'm putting myself out there because I'm putting myself out there believing in myself. If I didn't believe in myself, trust me, I wouldn't be doing a podcast in this. There's a lot of work that goes with this. That's the point. I spend hours on editing. It's not just recording and throwing it out there. I mean, there's a lot of work. There's social media, there's editing, there's filming, there's recording. There's a lot to do. And I'm doing it because I love to do it, but also I believe in my talents. So my point is this. We don't know in 6 months from now if people listening to my podcast or I get my own damn TV show because someone has seen this video or heard my damn podcast. I don't know. But my point is this. I'm being courageous in doing this at 50 years old and not letting anybody, well, no one's told me I couldn't do it, or let my fear tell me I couldn't do it. And I've stood in my truth. And I'm bringing this to the world because I also want to be of service, and that's another thing. And the lion was being of service. He said, I will kill the spider, but make me king. And there's nothing wrong with that because they already knew that he was going to be king. But my point is this. I'm doing this because I believe in myself. So the thing is this, when we believe in ourselves, whether it's, okay, Jeff Bezos starting Amazon, I think his parents gave him $250,000 to start Amazon. Okay, now Jeff Bezos is what? I'm assuming a trillionaire, especially during this pandemic. He's gone from billionaire to trillionaire. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I'm assuming. And the point is this, it's because he believed in himself. That's it. And none of us knew what Amazon was, I don't know how many years ago, 15 years ago. I don't know when it started. But the point is now, the whole freaking world knows who Amazon is now and who Jeff Bezos is, right? So that's my point, people. Stand in your truth. Start believing in your gifts and taking a chance on yourself. That's another thing. You know what? The tigers and everybody came to him. The tiger came to him and said, you came just in time. We need a leader. It's because the lion walked in his truth and walked with confidence suddenly, and that he was courageous. And they were like, oh, yes. So he believed in himself so much, right? That's what the world saw. So now take a chance on yourself, because they all took a chance on him. They believed he could do it. He believed he could do it, and he did it, and he became king of the beasts. So my point is, like, I'm taking a chance with doing these videos and the podcast. I'm also being of service, because that's a big point in my life, and my purpose is to also be of service. But the thing is, you have the confidence to take a chance in yourself. You know what? You don't know what's going to happen for you. And that's where it comes down to. So I can't give you confidence. The world can't give you confidence. Not how it works. You got to give it to yourself. It comes from within. And the only way it comes from within, my friends, is to continue to focus on the good that you bring to the world. Let's start focusing on all our good. And I've said that multiple times, but I believe that I can't say that enough, because the rest of the world is telling us to focus on the lack. No. Forget the lack, the fear, the worry, and the doubt. Let's focus on what we already have. Who we are, our gifts and our talents. And even if you say, Rosie, I have these certain gifts, but I don't know how to make money off of them. You know what? Do it as a hobby at first. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of people that are making millions of dollars from their gifts of applying makeup and stuff. I just saw a video the other day. This girl's really amazing. I think it's called Creative Cliche or something. She's amazing. She used to sell Mercedes-Benz 4 years ago and now, or 6 years ago. And now she does all this makeup, and she does characters from Disney. She's brilliantly talented. I wish I could tell you her name. I don't know her name, but she is brilliantly talented, and now she's got tons of followers on Instagram. I'm assuming she's got sponsors. I shouldn't assume, but she's living her best life because she's taken her hobby and probably has parlayed it into a freaking career. That's my point. So keep focusing on the gifts, the things you love to do, and the things you are really good at. Start pouring your energy into that. And even during this time, this pandemic, a lot of us are sitting home. This is a great time to keep stoking that fire, to keep working your craft, to keep working on you, because remember, the seeds you're planting today, like the seeds I'm planting now, we don't know what's going to come to fruition in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years. And you know what? That's what it's about. Let's plant the seeds. Plant good seeds in your life. Plant the good seeds of who you are. Plant the good seeds of how you choose to live your life. Plant seeds of service to not only yourself, but service to others, because we are all here for one another. And let's do that now. Let's circumvent whatever's going on that's terrible right now in the world. And you know, we don't control all the shit that happens to us. I've talked about this, but we control what we put out there and how we react. So how are we going to react? Let's react with love and light and kindness to ourselves first, and confidence, and take care of the things, and start feeding the good in us so that we can bring that good out into the world, and that reflects back to us. Okay, I've said what I've had to say, and you know what? Now I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that this little boost, this little pep talk has given you a little bit of motivation to start. Write down the things you do really fucking well, okay? Just start writing them down and start focusing your energy on it, okay? And start just doing them as hobbies. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you knit. Like, you know, there are so many people that are so freaking talented, and they have made such amazing careers out of their beautiful hobbies, because everybody has a gift. Just tap into it, my friends. Stop focusing on the lack and start focusing on what you already got, and continue to flourish and grow it, all right? Keep planting, keep watering the seeds, the good seeds you already got, because there are a bunch there. Stop worrying about the stupid weeds that you think that are in your garden. They ain't your weeds. There's somebody else planted those weeds to make you think they're your weeds. They ain't your weeds. Start watering your good seeds, and let's move on. All right, wishing you a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.